Take 4, ladies and gentlemen. Take 1. I didn't notice that I hadn't changed my name on the Zoom feed. Second take was I did the entire thing. It was like a 40-minute episode, so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna reshoot this and cut it down because I don't actually have any video editing software on my computer. This is literally just me recording in a Zoom call all by myself. Well, and then third one, I just accidentally stopped. I just accidentally stopped the recording instead of unpause it in the middle of me making it. So take 4, ladies and gentlemen. Fans, more than ever, more than pretty much any other win that we've had so far, it is time to hug it out because let's face it, this guy, Jeremy Swayman, he needs it. I think we all need it after that game against after that 6-5 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Welcome back to Into the Den, everybody. I am your host, 100 Bucks, and I want you to tell me what the current iteration of this Bruins is known for. Specifically, Bergeron and Marchand. I would like you to tell me what they are known for. You don't have to write in the comments, although I would appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Please, it helps out with the algorithm. I want to grow this channel quite a bit. But please, tell me what you guys think this current iteration of the Bruins is known for. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How many of you answered Game 7 of the first round of the 2013 Stanley Cup playoffs? The game in which the Bruins were down 4-1 with 10 minutes left in the game, to the Toronto Maple Leafs, ended up coming back in the last 10 minutes to tie it up at 4, and then score the game-winning goal in overtime. How many of you answered that? Now, how many of you would believe me if I told you that over the past decade, we have only had 2 wins that have been come from 3 goals down? I didn't know that until the NESN broadcast brought it up. But yeah, when we are 3 goals down, ever since the 2012-2013 season, we have pretty much ever since the 2012 lockout, we have been 150 and 4. We have a 1 in 77 chance of winning a game that we are down 3 goals in. Essentially. And hey, who wants to roll the dice? Who wants to roll the dice? I sure did, and we'd won. But oh boy, it was kind of an ugly one. One where, for the first time ever, while watching the Bruins and not violently ill, I've had to use one of these things for something other than throwing trash out. This game kind of started on a bad omen because Jim Montgomery before the game said that this was the worst morning skate that the Bruins have had under him. And less than a minute into the game, Crosby's already scored a goal off of Hampton's Lindholm's skate. That's never a good sign. It's never a good sign to give Pittsburgh anything to cheer about, but especially if that something is Sidney Crosby. Now, we kind of struggle in the first half of the first period, but we end up getting it right in the second half. Charlie Coyle ends up whacking at it once, twice, 3 times the lady, right into the chipping it up right into the right over Tristan Jarry's skate. It's weird. It's funny how how usually one of the Bruins' best puck handlers just ends up being the Bruins equivalent of a jackhammer going at the puck. And it works. It works. We're tied at 1-1. Now, I have to say, I haven't been paying too much attention to teams other than the Bruins this season. I mean, I usually don't, but for the Bruins, but at least for the Bruins, this fourth line has to be one of the most energized I've seen a team have a fourth line. Tomas Nosek, Nick Foligno, and Jacob Lauko are all playing amazing hockey. And Nosek in particular is just a really good budget defensive forward. Not exactly the guy that you're expecting to score a whole lot. We'll get into that later. But one that you're expecting to set up key blocks, like he did on the second goal of the game, on the second goal for the Bruins. He pretty much sets up a block that takes out 2 Penguins defensemen at once because for some reason they're just right next to just stuck to each other like white on rice. And allowing Nick Foligno to I wonder how this conversation happened before the game. Hey, Jacob. Oh, hey, Nick, what's going on? Remember the first goal that you had in the NHL that was taken back and given to me because it accidentally went off my stick? Man, you know that that game is etch-a-sketched right into my memory. But I want to say that I'm sorry, and I'm giving you back the goal. Thanks. I hope I scored tonight. Thank you, Nick. By the way, who's your favorite? What was your favorite Halloween costume this year? I mean, I know that. I mean, the guys here usually love to go all out for Halloween, but what was your favorite? Okay, I promised you Felino's answer to this is really funny.
Definitely not Jake Russ. It's terrible.
Definitely not Jake DeBrusque. It was terrible. But either way, yeah, Foligno has the puck, passes it to a wide open Jacob Lauko, who rips it past Jarry. Young man, go right into that net, take that puck, get out the tape, and get out the Sharpie. You deserve that puck, my guy, because that is the first goal of many for you, Mr. Lauko. After a few penalty shenanigans, I really only have one question I have to ask the Penguins, and that's: do you hate Tristan Jarry? Like legitimately. After Carlo ends up going for interference, we kill it pretty easily because we just have the best. We have one of the best penalty kills in the entirety of the NHL. Cool. So that's perfectly fine. And almost immediately afterwards, Marcus Pettersson decides he wants to whack Jake DeBrusque in the face. As the puck is just rolling right to the red line for Pittsburgh, and that's 2 for high sticking. And so Bruins are now on the power play. I want to ask you guys: do you guys remember the whole Kadri Binnington incident where the Blues players are kind of pushing Kadri right into Binnington, and they still think that it's Kadri's fault? Well, even though everybody could see that at the absolute best, it was just a freak accident, and at the absolute worst, the Blues players were actively pushing him into the net. Yeah, that pretty much just happened in here twice. Twice in this game. the Penguins just hate Tristan Jarry, I guess. Yes. First time they did it was with Pasta, and it was enough to trigger an interference call that ends up turning this Marcus Pettersson high-staking power play for the Bruins into a 4-on-4. Thank God both penalties end up dying. But in the second period, the Penguins do the exact same thing, but to AJ Greer. Like, come on, guys. Like, either they hate Tristan Jarry or they are fishing for penalties, or they are fishing for the refs. Or the third, maybe they're just like, yeah, fuck the Bruins. I don't know. Maybe they're just done like, yeah, let's push it into, we didn't do shit. Anyway, one thing that I didn't know about one thing that I didn't know about during the first period, and mostly because I was watching it at a 99 restaurant with my family, where there is no sound, was that Forbort ended up leaving the game late in the first period with an injury. That's never good, especially because he's our best penalty killer, and honestly, at this point, one of our better defensemen. And please, McAvoy, please, Charlie, get better. Now we're playing this game with 5 defensemen, and almost immediately it shows. Pierre-Olivier Joseph passed it right to Malkin, pretty much completely uncontested. Stroman tried to get in between it, but used the wrong part of the stick. Con, you have been playing in this league since 2007. At this point, I expect you to know that when you are that far away, from the passing lane, you use the paddle end of the stick, not the stick part of the stick. It's like trying to row a boat with the handle side of the oar and not the paddle. Oh. Anyway, Evgeny Malkin is right there, and whoever last visited and Mark, I love you, but whenever you go out onto your back patio, you got to close the glass sliding door, because you left it open wide enough for Malkin to just put one right in, undetected, to tie the game at 2. So that's great. But hey, it's a tie game. We're not gonna. It's a tie game, and we're still a great defensive unit. We're not gonna let this one get away from us, right? Use the paddle side of the stick, not the goddamn stick. Players end up going around, end up doing like a chain pass around the back, where pretty much everybody gets a piece of it before passing it right up to the center, where Josh Archibald has absolute daylight. Nobody's choking off the passing lanes. Nobody's even covering him. Nobody's even doing the slow-mo secret agent dive to take this one for him. It's just Josh Archibald and Linus Ullmark facing off against one another, and he just puts it right in front of him. Seriously, where is our defense on that? Something that I never really associate in Sidney Crosby with, it's screening. I usually associate him with being the one that actually has the puck, not the one that has the puck or is waiting for the puck or is distributing the puck, not the one who's setting up a defensive part of who's setting up the defense. Even though, I mean, he is part of the first power play unit. He is part of the first penalty kill unit on the Pens. So what do I know? But Crosby sets up a really tight screen against Ullmark, where pretty much Allmark is just looking at Sidney Crosby's ass. And hey, we all do it sometimes. We all find ourselves down bad. But when that's your entire view, and you're trying to find in this one black black disc, that's just flying around behind it, it gets kind of hard. And so Brian Rust has pretty much wide open room to sneak in past, to sneak the puck in past past Allmark on a pass. It's 4-2. It's 4-2 Penguins. And yeah, that kind of sucks. But at the same time, where is the D? What is what Allmark lets in, and I can't fault him for, because again, the defense decides we're just going to turn it over in the neutral zone. We're just going to turn it over in the neutral zone. And we're going to give Ricard Raquel just the puck. We're just going to give Ricard Raquel the puck. Like, we don't care. He can have it. We don't want it. And Raquel's like, sure, I'll take it. Sure, I'll take it. And he just walks right up to the face-off circles and shoots it to make it 5-2. Ooh, just that. Understandably, Allmark is pulled from the game to put in Jeremy Swayman, and almost immediately, the Bruins end up being like, "Oh shoot, that's right, we have a game to play." Marchand shoots from pretty much face-off circles. Bergeron has the rebound, and he's going in to cut the lead to cut the deficit to 2. Except no, come closer. Genjutsu. Bergeron pretty much just tripped over Tristan Jarry, and it disoriented him enough to where Bergeron pretty much falling and shooting the puck off of Tristan Jarry's back pads and was called goaltender interference. Sucks, but I mean, that's pretty much the right call. Well, not long afterwards, Jeff Petrie does go for hooking, and that callback pretty much didn't matter, because Jeff Petrie goes for hooking pretty quickly. I'm not gonna lie. I spent like the last 5 minutes between and as just looking at my phone and I completely forgot where I was, except that I had already talked about the goaltender interference thing. So we're just gonna go back to Jeff Petrie going for hooking, and the Bruins be like, okay, we're gonna make this callback not matter anymore. So they just 15 seconds into the power play, Bergeron passes to DeBrusk at the top of the blue line, and DeBrusk passes back to Marchand, who at the face-off circles, who just whacks it in to put the Bruins at 5 to cut the deficit to 2. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the second period. Except Sidney Crosby goes for hooking with like a minute 43 left in the period, which means the Bruins have 17 seconds left at the start of the third to kill it, to do something with it. Have you ever been told you need to do something on knife shoot? You need to travel a far distance on knife shoes in 17 seconds with 5 people in the way, also on knife shoes, trying to stop you while you're on ice. Yeah, no shit, the Bruins didn't do anything with those 17 seconds. But it doesn't matter, because neither team really does anything at the start of the third period. Neither team can really get anything going until Hall ends up going for interference on in Evgeny Malkin. And this is where this bad boy comes in. Because during this penalty, there was a play that resulted in Patrice Bert. Oh yeah, I also forgot during this that oh yeah, never mind. I covered that Swayman and Ari came in. Shoot, I'm stupid, but there was a play in this where Patrice Bergeron ends up falling and sliding right into Jeremy Swayman, and during that slide, Swayman's leg hyperextends to where you could see something pop in the back of his knee, and Bergeron is like, "Oh shoot!" and just immediately calls over the trainer. He knows something is wrong, and yeah, Swayman is taken off the ice. Allmark is put back in. I'm not gonna lie, seeing that over and over again, and thanks ESPN, was the first time that I've ever needed to use this is as a we're just gonna I'm just gonna cut it there. One of my favorite players too. Jeremy Swayman, one of my favorite players on the Bruins. He is my top three, my absolute top three. Bergeron, in Bergeron, freaking McAvoy, and Swayman. I love the guy. I love the guy. And now we might not have him for a few weeks, but the game keeps going. Thank God we killed a penalty. I mean, even with 5 defensemen included, even with 5 defensemen, one of the defensemen we're missing is our best penalty killer. We still kill the penalty. And the Bruins decide, all right, we're gonna win this for Swayman. We're gonna win this for Sway Dog. And so a shot from Lindholm ends up getting pro gamer moved by Zacha. He just puts a little bit of grease on it. It halfway from the face-off circle to the net. It changes the trajectory to where Tristan Jarry can't really make sense of it, and it goes right past him. And close the deficit to 1. And after that play, Chad Ruedel also goes down the tunnel for an injury. Damn, everybody's getting hurt in this game. Now, for anybody who watched last season, and not just Into the Den, but just the entire just the Bruins season, I want you to tell me when the first time the Bruins scored a 6-on-5 goal. I'll give you a little bit. I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Their first 6-on-5 goal came in the last 5 minutes of Game 7 of the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. They did not score a 6-on-5 goal until they were down 2 goals and was with less than 3 minutes left. And even then, we scored that. I think we ended up scoring that goal with 30 seconds left in the game. But this season is a little bit different. We get it on game 10, and there's like a minute left, and we end up killing the rest of the time there. So we just go into overtime. Tied at 5-5 after we were down 3, and we lost not only our best penalty killer, but one of our better goalies. Now the question that people are trying to make sense of afterwards is who's going to come up after him. Is going to be Keith Kincaid or Kyle Kieser. I don't know. I hope they're good enough to fill in for Swayman. But we go to OT, and Lindholm takes a pretty weak tripping penalty against Malkin, but a penalty is a penalty is a penalty. So Bruins end up getting put on the penalty kill. Bruins end up getting put at 3 against 4 for 2 minutes. But the Penguins are gassed. The Penguins have no life left in them. It was already kind of obvious near the end of the third. They were kind of running out of steam. But during this 4-on-3, they were not moving at all. They were just like, hey, we have the puck. We're gonna just pass it. No one's gonna make any cuts. No one's gonna drive the net. No one's gonna try to get open. We're just gonna keep passing it. It was boring. And immediately afterwards, Hampus Lindholm immediately after the penalty dies, Hampus Lindholm and Tomas Nosek, Lindholm to Nosek. Oh my God, he hasn't scored since January 2nd, and he hits the post. Nosek hits the post, goes right into Brian Rust, who breaks away the other direction and blows past his assignment, and Lindholm, Allmark ends up making the save. Now this is where Hampus Lindholm ends up doing his best Josh Groban. Fine, I'll do it myself. And immediately off the faceoff that Bergeron wins, he goes from the faceoff circles, pretty much making a right try. So here's the faceoff circle that this was in. Here is the end destination. In Lindholm basically goes. He pretty much just makes a right triangle. He pretty much just makes a right triangle on the to complete the hypotenuse between the face-off dots, and the Penguins are gassed. They can't cover him, and he just blows past all of them, and he just puts it away for us. He puts it away. Puts it away for forward. He puts it away for Swayman. He puts it away to put the Bruins up 6-5 and win it. It was still incredible. It's still incredible. I personally think that this is the best. That this is one of the best ones the Bruins have had since 4-1. This is the best win that the Bruins have had since Game 7 of 2013 in against the Leafs. We faced incredible adversity in this game, and we came out on top. And that is why this team is special. I think this team is truly special. Well, there is no quit ever. Steve Dangle was talking about how the reason why the Boston Bruins are the reason why he believes that the Boston Bruins are going to do really well this season is because the Boston Bruins have Boston Bruins. Everybody that goes into this organization is a Boston Bruin. In Patrice Bergeron, and Brad Marchand, Zdeno Chara, all of them built a culture around understanding this crest and the city that you play for. You gotta work nothing, especially the city that you play for. Boston for all the jokes about how only the snooty rich lives live there. A lot of people, there are a lot of shit parts of Boston, and a lot of people grew up in them. A lot of people had to scrap for what they could, and not only that, this is one of the labor capitals of the U.S. This is a city built on blue collar work, and the Bruins echo that to a T. They put in what they put in so much more than what they get out, but what they get out is still extraordinary. Actually, no, I worded that horribly. They put in more than anybody else, and because of it, they're going to get out more than anybody else. Like, how often do you hear people say, the Bruins best players didn't really look their best tonight. Maybe on like some sort of nitpick show like freaking Felger and Maz, you might find that take. But wherever you found that take, put it back. Put it back and just, or better yet, put it in a freaking capsule and put it in a freaking lockbox and mark it as do not open, because do not ever count out the Boston Bruins, especially not this iteration. With 2 games left on their road trip, I think I'm going to call it here for tonight. That is it for Into the Net. And thank you all so much for watching. If you like, click subscribe if you really like. Please leave a comment. How much were you screaming, crying, and throwing up tonight? Because for me, it was all 3. It was all 3. And it was great. And make sure to tell your friends